Boom, what is good? What is happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. And on this week, like every week, we're gonna break down the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys with a little mixture of massive some NFL news. But every week, I am joined by my main man, my good friend, by my better rival. It is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Caleb Ochoa. Caleb, how are you, my man?
I'm excited, man. We got to watch some football games this week. So,
We did we
it was
did
just
watch some football
preseason,
games.
but I'm still excited. I still got excited. I still got to see football, so I'm happy right now, and I'm excited to talk about the topics we have for this show. So,
Yes, I am too. But before we get down to the meat and potatoes, which is the Giants and the Giants and the Cowboys, let's talk about some overall NFL news. I want to get my main I got rank them, but like let's talk about right. I want to talk about this one topic. I know it's not Giants or Cowboys related, but it is football related. It is Zach Wilson's alleged ACL tear, bone bruise, mess up knee, something. It is what it is. But it's not really more about Zach Wilson. It's more about, do you play your starters in preseason? Do you do that? Do you start them? Do you let them play? Is there any benefits to it? We did talk a little bit earlier, which I think you're in the camp of like it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Just let them play the regular season. It doesn't matter. Caleb, do you still like expand upon your reasoning behind starters shouldn't play in preseason? Just let them ball out in week one.
why take the risk of getting your guys hurt? Doesn't make no sense. We've already seen, like we saw Zach Wilson go down. We've seen many times go down. As Dallas Cowboys fan, you see Romo go down in the preseason. I just don't think it adds in any benefit at all to play your starters. I really think we should just have honestly just one game as a preseason game to just let the guys who are trying to make the team. I think it benefits them. Because they're fighting for jobs. So you need to get a look at them against another team. So that works. I think joint practices are way more valuable because you do see another team and the starters do play against another team, but it's more in a controlled environment where they're not going to get exposed to hurt. A lot of the time they don't tackle in those. So it's and they don't hit the quarterback obviously. So I think those are way more valuable reps than even a preseason game because you're just exposing them to injury. And honestly, I made the point before that college football, they don't have preseason. They're younger guys. These are college aged athletes, and they go into the first game and they have to be ready and prepared. Yeah, professionals don't have to be ready and prepared. They need some startup games. Like don't really make a lot of sense to me. We've seen the Rams not really care about preseason.
They don't.
They don't really play their starters, and they're just fine.
Shits.
They just won the Super Bowl. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, just looking at the Rams as an example, the fact that they can be as successful as they are shows me that it basically does nothing for you.
I'm with you. I honestly never really cared for preseason. I still don't. I don't really watch it. The only time I watch preseason games are the Giants preseason games, and if there's like literally nothing else on, you know what I mean? Because we're football fans, and that's what it is. But I don't go out my way to watch Tampa Bay versus blah 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 preseason games. I don't do that. Like I just don't because I don't really care for that. So who cares?
Unless you're
In
just
my
trying to
opinion.
see like a rookie quarterback, like you're trying to see like Kenny Pickett in his first start or something like that. Different players you wanted to see that you liked in college. You want to see them how they play in the real game. I guess that's the only reason why you would watch the other teams
Mm-hmm.
in preseason that you're not a fan of.
Exactly. So I'm also doing so like now I want to transition to my second topic is apparently there's been a lot of there's been like you think about preseason, right? They do a lot of emphasis, like different things, emphases. So like they choosing things that are emphases. This year preseason, they're emphasizing on illegal contact, which is when I read it was any contact that prohibits a player by a defender when the quarterback has the ball or in the pocket. So last year there was 36 illegal contact calls in the regular season combined.
Is that
36.
within 5 yards or after 5 yards?
I think it's after 5 yards because within 5 yards you can do whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
Like you can do what the hell you want. You can basically mug them if you want to. But then what's the difference between illegal contact and pass interference? Like I'm confused here. Like,
yeah.
well, is pass interference only when the ball is thrown in the air?
Pass interference is when it's in the air.
Okay. So
Holding
illegal
is
contact is everything
obviously
before
holding.
is I think so. I think then illegal contact is everything past 5 yards when the ball is still not in the air.
Yeah.
So that's probably what illegal contact is. There was 15 illegal contact penalties called week 1 of preseason. Do you think they're gonna continue riding it into the regular season, or do you think
Um.
like because most years they do it in the preseason, then they drop it in the regular season? They just
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah. I
What do
mean,
you
they
think?
always make an emphasis. Oh, we're gonna make a point of this on so and so penalty this year, and yeah, they throw like a ton of flags on it in the preseason. And then I guess early in the season they do it shows up, but throughout the season you stop seeing it, you stop worrying about it, then it just becomes whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. Um, but I don't think they need to. I mean, why not
Mhm.
give the defensive players a little help? I mean, they have
Mhm.
so many rules against them. They can't barely
They
tackle
can't
anybody.
breathe on them. You're not allowed to
Yeah,
breathe on receivers. Like what? We can't be a little physical. I can't give you a little shove.
yeah.
Dude,
Basically,
it's
you just got to follow them and wait till they catch the ball, and then you can touch them.
then
I mean,
it's bullshit, bro. It's
I
nonsense.
mean that's pretty
It's
much all you can
nonsense.
do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
so it just
Well,
gets harder and harder for a defensive player to actually play real football. So I don't think it's necessary to make a point of emphasis. But obviously the NFL likes to make money, so they like offense, they like scoring, and that's what gets fans to watch. Is that big for them to score touchdowns, catch passes, make unbelievable plays. Um, and that's why they do make it a point of emphasis, because they do want to see more offense.
that's it, bro. It's like, dude, I've seen so many times where an offensive player like shoves the corner and they just like let it go. I'm like, that's offensive pass interference. That doesn't get called a lot. Why do you think there's a discrepancy?
Between
Offensive and
passing.
defensive pass interference.
Um, because you can't tell as much on the offense, even though, well, like I said, because they do want scoring. But I mean, what did I complain all about the first game after when I went on my rant after the first game? He clearly extended his arms on. It
Mm-hmm.
was clearly offensive pass interference, but they didn't call it. Because they just want the offense to win. I mean, that's why they call it the offense when it was like a tie with interception receiving. They call it the tie goes to the receiver, and it's
Yeah.
always to the offensive side. It's not that difficult to see when an offensive player makes a pass interference compared to a defensive player. I think it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty clear. I mean, if there's an impediment to them making the catch, whether it's the offensive guy or the defense guy trying to make the interception, I think that's clear to see. I don't think that it's really that hard to me.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I completely agree. But now, Caleb, let's. All right. So we're gonna do a little. We're not like we last year. We did. We dedicated episodes to this program. Then we kind of like stopped
Mm.
because we kind of tailed off. But I do want to talk about this program. I want to like just a little bit, just a little quick review, probably 5-10 minutes. None too fancy, none too schmancy. On Hard Knocks, man. It was the very first episode of Hard Knocks last week on Tuesday. Next week's episode is gonna be tomorrow, so we're gonna review tomorrow's episode next week. Well, let's review last week's episode. Caleb, do you watch Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I watched it.
Hey, man, I love me some
I do
Dan
love
Caleb, man.
I
I
do love
love me
Hard
some.
Knocks.
I love
But
me, man. Hey,
you know
give
what
me your
kind of
initial thoughts
spoiled me
on it.
though? You know what spoiled me on Hard Knocks
What?
though? Is the
What?
fact that Last Chance he was like way better.
I, well, yeah. It is. No, because the NFL is involved in this, right? So
Yeah.
let's chance you like there's not a lot
I
of
just think
involvement.
it's a lot better show, even though classic Hard Knocks moments and all that. We get
Mm-hmm.
excited for all that stuff. But yeah, I did watch this episode. Obviously, everybody talked about Aiden Hutchinson doing this Michael Jackson, but that happens every season.
You want me to be real with you? You want me to be real with you? You want me to be real with
What's
you?
that?
I didn't give two shits about that scene. That was
Yeah,
my favorite scene. My
that's
favorite
just
scenes.
yeah, Yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's
continue,
what
continue.
everybody talks about was when the rookies do their
Singing and
their
dancing.
talent thing.
Yeah.
They say their salary, and and it's all fun
Homie,
and it's all
yeah.
good stuff. But
Homie rolled up and said, Aiden Hutchinson, signing bonus, 21 million. I'm like, wait, what?
I know
21 million?
I didn't even realize how much rookies still make because obviously they made that rule like after what
Yeah, the
Sam
rookie wage
Bradford.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh, rookies don't make that much anymore. And then I hear 23. Oh, God, they
Oh
went back up
wow.
again. I guess they went way
You
back
know what I
up.
mean? So the salary isn't that much, but the signing bonus is like you gonna get a good signing bonus. I'm like, yo, and like no offense, man, that Malcolm Rodriguez thing where he was like dancing, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. I'm sorry. Those two scenes I could give two flying fadoodles. My favorite scenes all involve the coaches. They all
Yeah,
involve the coaches, man. Like that's the thing about Hard Knocks, man. When the coaches are in the juice and are doing their thing, you have a good show. Yeah, okay. My favorite scenes are I think it was at the beginning where Dan Campbell's explaining to them who they are. And you talk about like deep water and shallow water, and then like the music is like getting he's like da na na. Then like the music is like you know how like the music kind of like is on it, and he's
yeah.
like
They still have great
we're
music.
gonna
The music's
tread
still the best.
water as long as we can so we can drown them. Dun dun
That still don't make
dun
sense.
dun. I'm like, oh
That,
yeah.
that's that still doesn't make sense. And I don't even understand that
What do you mean? It
sentence
makes
right there.
complete sense. It can make
I don't
complete
think it
sense.
makes sense. What, is
It
it, what
does.
do you mean?
So we're
We're
treading.
gonna tread water till we can drown? What does it even mean?
So we're gonna survive. We're gonna survive. We're gonna survive. And then when we're ready to kill, we're gonna drown them. And then we're gonna win.
But
You know
you're
what I mean? So
treading
like,
water. That means you suck. How are you gonna drown if you're treading water yourself? You're drowning yourself. When you're treading water, you're sinking.
hey man, it doesn't matter. It's all about the delivery, man. I'll fight for. I'll fight you for
I
Dan
think a
Campbell.
lot of the moments he was having like just didn't make sense. He was like saying like I'll get on your ass even if you have like 2 toes and 5 feet or whatever
yeah,
he was saying.
like 2 toes and 3 butt cheeks.
Like
That's
what?
my type of
What
coach.
are you saying?
I'll fight. Yo, I would run through a wall for Dan Campbell, bro. My favorite scene too involved Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn,
Oh
where
yeah,
like they're doing I think it's probably 9-on-7. It's called 9-on-7, right? So you got to punch a hole through the defense. And like they're just cussing each other out, like, hey man, I got you down, but like, you ain't got shit. I got it's like him and Glenn are just going after each other,
yeah.
but like
And
it's all love. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, this man, this is my
well,
coaching
they
staff, bro.
talk like how they talked when they were playing, and
Yes.
that was a point in the show showing
8
that
former NFL players.
they have a bunch of former players in the coaching
Mhm.
staff.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell was a former player himself, so
Yeah, he is.
I guess he just wants to surround himself with like-minded guys.
Well, when you have a cohesive staff, all like one mind, like so their defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn was a 14-year safety. You have Deuce Staley, who's been a multiple year running backs coach, but he was also running back for the Eagles for multiple years. You had Mark Brunell is their QB coach, like Mark Brunell. We all know who Mark Brunell is, Jacksonville Jaguars legend, Mark Brunell. Their offensive line coach, Mike Flaherty, he was in the NFL for 14 years. They have their linebackers coach, Kelvin Shepard. I know Kelvin. I'm a big fan of. Like he was a good linebacker. I quite enjoyed his game a little. Like Kelvin Shepard. Yeah, but Dan Campbell, former tight end. He wasn't on the team that won the Super Bowl with the Saints, or did he win a Super Bowl with the Saints?
No,
I don't
sure.
remember.
I just remember on the Cowboys.
Yeah, he was drafted. I think was he drafted by the Cowboys?
No, he was not. That was his second team.
He was drafted in the 3rd round. Like, and here's the thing too, like these aren't like, oh yeah, I played in the NFL. How many years? 2 years? It's like, nah, I played in the NFL for like 8 years, 10 years, 14 years. And you're like, Brunell played in the NFL for like 18 years. And you're like, these aren't like one and done NFL players. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I had a cup of tea and now I'm a coach. It's like, nah, I played in the league, homie. Like I played in the league. I saw everything. You know what I mean? So like these, and like, you know what? Like they do this in the NBA a lot. Like they hire former players like that.
Yeah.
Like boom, former players. Like Jason Kidd, when he retired, he automatically got a job.
Yeah.
Like right away.
That doesn't happen in football. You have to go through like a whole process, being quality control to coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
To,
exactly. Coach, there's but I think there's a new era now, right? A new era of like now former players, not just like any former players, like solid NFL players who were in the league for 14 years. You know what I mean? Like Aaron Glenn, he was a starting corner. He played corner here. Like are now becoming coaches now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy it. Like I really do. Like I really enjoy it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it shows like those coaches like weren't great players; they were like good players.
Yes.
I think that's kind of like where you need it, like because they were good enough to have like very long careers for,
Mm-hmm. They
but
could teach,
never like great.
and the reason they had long careers is that they had to fight and teach themselves to play the game. Great. I don't think great players make great coaches. You know what I mean? Because like
Mhm.
they just play the game. You know, you can't teach someone to play like you. You know, like Lawrence Taylor can't teach linebackers, like edge rushers, to play like him. Like he just did it. You know, like Tom Brady can't make quarterbacks play the game like he did because he just plays it. Same thing with Peyton Manning. Like they just playing it. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. They just play it. You know, like you think Aaron Donald can teach a mother lover could play defensive tackle? Now Aaron Donald's just a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like Caleb, so those were your favorite moments, like just the singing? Really? That's it?
Oh, that was my favorite movie. I just thought that they were. That's what everybody's talking about.
Nah, man. Any moment with Dan Campbell is my favorite moment. You know? So like, yeah, I like it. But now, Caleb, let's transition to the meat and potatoes of the show. You know what I mean? Let's talk about
Okay.
it. You know what I mean? In the great words of Jimmy Johnson.
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
They lost.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
they did.
They did.
How about them? They lost. Woo, baby.
So let's talk about it, Caleb. You guys lost 17-7 to the Denver Broncos, Adelia's team, by the way. But now take you through, like, Caleb, what were your positives and your negatives and your thoughts on the Cowboys in that game?
Yeah. First off, the Cowboys didn't play any of their starters. They had
What
all
did
their
I say this
backups.
time, Tony? I didn't say anything. What do you mean pause? I
Yeah,
said nothing. I said nothing.
I don't know. Sometimes I didn't catch that.
I said
so
nothing.
maybe.
By the way, shout out to the chat. We got
Yeah.
Tony Hendo, Ravens Online on Gatekeepers, with the homie Adelia. She the Denver Broncos fan, allegedly. We have Shug, like Derek Fisher. Oh my God, don't even bring up Derek Fisher, please. Don't bring up Derek Fisher. But not Caleb, let's go through it. Your thoughts on the Cowboys game.
Yeah, so we didn't start any of our starters. We didn't. I didn't get a good look at Will Greer because he was out. So it was basically Cooper Rush and Ben Nucci, which
The
was
the Nooch is the Nooch.
no. So this was very very hard to watch. This was an ugly
That's a lot
ugly
of
game.
flags, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that next topic. But I don't really take much away from preseason, especially not the final score, and especially with the Cowboys, because the Cowboys always look like crap in the preseason. Last year we lost all of our games in the preseason, yet we still won 12 games. And I think that's a lot of time that happens. I think like the last time we looked good in the preseason was when Dak was like a rookie and he was like going off. But usually we look bad. Yeah. Usually we look bad. I thought, so the second team started off, they didn't look good against Denver's defense. There wasn't really that many positives on offense to begin with. But one thing they did do, they ran the ball.
Right.
They ran the ball pretty well. I think that was really the only positive on offense because the receivers weren't catching. Cooper Rush was way off targets. Lyon wasn't blocking very well. But they did block on run blocking. They did do well. The secondary struggled a bit. Nashawn Wright, he had problems. He got scored on. But what I liked about I think it was uneven. I don't think he was totally bad because I think he was very aggressive in his play. I think he had made some, very aggressive tackles. So I like to see that. But he's still a young player, still developing, and you really saw his length on some of the plays because he's a very tall guy.
So he's 6'3". Is he 6'3"?
Yeah, pretty tall,
pretty big. Shout out to Nashawn Wright, by the way, Laney College product out of Oakland, right down the street from the Bay Area. I know a bunch of kids. I know a bunch of homies who play with him. Actually, though he's a community college world national champion. Actually,
yeah.
Oh, we got a donation. We got a donation from Adelia. Donated $1, saying great show so far. Thank you, Adelia. Continue, Caleb.
But he did have some good looks because he did got an interception, but it was called back from someone else that was holding at him. But if that didn't, he would have had an interception.
A lot of holding.
And then what the quarterback that did look good was Deron Bland. He actually looks out of the besides the top three, besides Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs, and Jordan Lewis, Deron Bland looks the best out of the rest. He's like a like 6th round pick or something. But he looked really good. I like the way he looked. He looked very aggressive on the ball.
Mr. J, how are you?
So I like seeing from him. And like I said, I wish I could have saw more from because Will Greer looked like he'd been playing better than Cooper Rush, but he had a groin injury. So hopefully,
Deron Bland, is that the guy from Fresno State?
Not sure what he's from.
Let me double check. Continue talking.
But yeah, we didn't see Will Greer out there. So hopefully we can get him out there soon. So because that is a contention for the backup quarterback spot. And they're in a battle right now. So we'll see. Hopefully we can see him in the next game. But the next topic we got is all the flags. It was a fucking flag fest. Absolutely. Like, my God. The Cowboys committed 17 penalties. It's just a continuation of what we had last season. We were like the most penalized team last year too. Just had no discipline. I mean, we were not. Mike McCarthy said he was going to make it a point of emphasis that he's going to fix this penalty problem, and it doesn't show. It doesn't show. Like, I mean, what are you doing? Like you said you want to try to fix this, and yet we sitting here seeing the same shit. Now, some of them were bullcrap. I mean, completely bullcrap calls. Some of the roughing the passer, some of the holding penalties, total bullcrap. But then other ones weren't. I mean, they seemed like very undisciplined. And that brings up the again, like, what is McCarthy doing? Like, what does he do? Like, what do you do? You're not instilling a disciplined culture. You're not doing anything. Like, what do you do here? Like, I don't understand.
How you doing? Continue talking,
I don't understand why we can't get together on the penalties.
Yeah, you need a new head coach. Just hire Dan Campbell. Like, just hire Dan Campbell, dude. Like, this would like hire Dan Campbell and then keep Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator.
Dan Campbell. We're not hiring Sean Payton or Dan Quinn.
Yeah, keep. That's what I said. I meant, Dan Quinn, not Dan Campbell. Sorry, Dan Quinn. That's what I meant. They're both named Dan. Forgive me. We were talking about Dan Campbell earlier. Shout out to that man, bite kneecaps. Shout out to Dan Campbell. But yeah, hire Dan Quinn, bro. It's like hire Dan Quinn.
And that brings me into the next point: is are we tough enough? I bring up that question because McCarthy doesn't really instill any culture to our team, and I think that's what we lost in the playoff game. Because we just weren't tough enough. We got bullied in that game against the Niners. We got beat in the trenches, and which really started was against these Broncos last season. They bullied us. I mean, they ran the ball down our throat. They pushed us off the line, and they played
it was that week where they like beat you 34-14 or something like that.
Yeah, we got our ass kicked. And that's
Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon went off.
Yeah, it's what started the downfall in our team after we had the long win streak going, and that's what happened. That's why I bring it up. It seems like we're too finesse, and a lot of that is on the offense. And Kellen Moore, I think he gets way too pass happy in his offense, and it makes us look like a finesse team gets away from the run. I do think Dan Quinn is doing a lot better job on the defense of instilling that culture because he's getting in their faces, telling them where to be, how to be, and doing all that stuff. So I do think on the defensive side, I do think we got the attitude. And in the draft, we even made it a point to draft these like kind of tough, nasty dudes. We got Tyler Smith, who's like that big, nasty guy that brings some attitude to our team. Same with Sam Williams as well. He's got some attitude. And even Jenna Tolbert's a talker.
Yeah.
So we got John Ridgway, another guy we drafted. So we got all these guys with some big nasty attitude, so we can instill some toughness into our team. Because a lot of the time, I think a big problem with the Cowboys, in the past, everybody talks about the past 25 years. A lot of the problem, I think these guys come in they think they made it because of Dallas Cowboys, and they have that Dallas Cowboys attitude, like I'm here, I have arrived, and maybe they don't have that attitude that other teams like me against the world that other teams seem to have, and that's what propels them to a Super Bowl. And we don't seem to have that because we are the Dallas Cowboys. We get all the notoriety, and they always get talked about. So they seem like they have a different type of attitude. But that's why it's on the coaches to instill that attitude on the players, on these Dallas Cowboys. And I just don't think Mike McCarthy does a good enough job of doing that.
Yeah, because I think here's the thing. Like, I'm with you, Caleb. Like, they think because they have the star on the helmet, they like, oh, we're Cowboys, whatever. But like, you're not a Cowboy until you're successful. Cowboys fans don't remember the average dude on their team. They don't remember receiver 3 if he doesn't do anything. Cowboys fans don't remember the third linebacker. Like, you know what I mean? Like no. Like, if you don't win in Dallas, no one cares. Tony Romo's an anomaly because he won nothing, but they love him. You know what I mean? Like, no offense. Like, he's a quarterback. Should win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, he won nothing. You know what I mean? No one, no one's going to remember.
We don't blame him. That's why we love him, because we don't blame him. We blame all the surrounding.
Exactly. When your number one receiver is Miles Austin, that says a lot.
Well, as most of the line, we wasted 3 years. We went 8-8. A bad offensive lines. We didn't put nothing around him. He was running for his life, and then he got hurt a bunch of times, and then he was ruined by the time we got in a good offensive line.
Yeah, we actually have a question from the homie Mr. J for you, Caleb. Is Anthony Barr actually going to help, or are you all just going to pay him to be on injured players coach? What do you think?
No, I believe, like I talked about last week. Yeah, I definitely think he's going to help. I think the most best way he's going to help is just because he has a lot of experience in the league. I think instill into our young team. I think we do have a young defense. I think that's the best part of him, that he can instill that knowledge that he has with a young player like Micah Parsons. And yeah, I think he still has a lot in the tank left. He's only 30 years old, so I definitely think he can make plays. And
he's only 30.
Yeah,
he's only 30, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I still think he got a lot left in the tank, and I do think he's going to be a big help in our linebacking core.
Well, Caleb, now let's transition to another one of your topics. Is speaking of Anthony Barr, defense. Is the defensive line proves to be legit? Is it not? Is it fool's gold, or is this real? Or is this something like real deal Holyfield?
And yeah, I was talking about the joint practice. That we had a joint practice. I watched the whole joint practice on Friday, I think it was. And I think I take more from that than the preseason game, because the starters actually played against their starters. So you see starters and starters. Because the defensive line was playing against their offensive line, playing against Russell Wilson and all that. And they still were getting through. They were still getting through. They were still getting to Wilson.
Who are the names where we Dallas Cowboys fans should be looking out for besides Michael Parsons? So that's a gimme.
But who Parsons was doing Michael Parsons things against but Gallimore looked great, fantastic. He looked good in the game too. He got, I think, tackle loss.
Nevin Gallimore.
Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma. Yeah, he was looking fantastic. Osa was looking great. Chauncey Golston was getting.
Say Osa's full name, Caleb. Go. Say Osa's full name.
Osa,
go. Yeah, there it is. That's my guy. You see that? That's a fan right there. Osa, I'm not even gonna try. I continue.
I think Terrell Basham. He picked off Wilson in the practice.
Ohio Bobcat Terrell Basham. Big fan of Terrell Basham.
He had a pick during against Wilson. And Dante Fowler looked good in the game. He was making plays.
Unfortunately for Dante Fowler, I think this is his last chance because he Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell. My bad, Dan Quinn. I'm sorry, but I'm thinking Dante Fowler. Dan Quinn is giving him one more shot because they've known each other for 14 years. You know what I mean? Since they've known each other since college, and that penalty he had in that game where he shoved that guy in the pile, that didn't look good for him. Dante Fowler needs to get sorted out if he wants to make this team, because I think y'all are deep at the defensive line and y'all don't really need Dante Fowler. He's a luxury. He needs to make himself be a necessity. That's what Dante Fowler needs to do.
And I think Sam Williams, he got penalized for some bull crap, roughing the passer. But he still got through. Like he was still hitting the quarterback.
Sam Williams, that freak that they drafted in the draft. Yeah. I remember that.
He looks great. That's what I'm saying. Our defensive line, I was saying between the defensive line and the offensive line, who was that the offensive line looked bad? No, it's defensive line. Look great. I mean, they still look great. They look aggressive, and there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah,
which is I really like to see.
The Giants could have drafted Micah Parsons. He was like right there. Right there. But no, they were like, let's trade back. And I was like, you never trade back, David Gettleman. You've never traded back ever. I don't know why you're trading back. But I digress. I've gotten over it because that trade back got us Kevontae Thibodeau and Evan Neal. But I digress. Now, Caleb, something you're looking at is the running back 3 battle. Because you know who 1 and 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
Why is running back 3 that important to you? Why do you care?
Because I think 1 and 2 are going to play a lot. And we've seen that they have gotten injured last season, both of them. Tony Pollard's obviously going to play a lot more. At least that's what they're saying, that he's going to play, if you can believe them, that he's going to play a lot more. And, we're going to need him to play maybe a little receiver. So if they're both going to play a lot, that number 3 back is actually like a number 2 back, I mean, obviously Tony Pollard and Zeke are going to be in there, but basically the 3 back just becomes their backup. If one of them it needs to fill in that spot. But like I said, the best thing I think we did in the game was run the ball. I think we were able to run block pretty well. And the guy who did the best, I thought, was Malik Davis. I think he had the most yards in the game.
That's the kid out of Florida, right?
I'm not sure where these guys are from.
Okay.
But he's fighting with the Rico Dowdle, who's the incumbent 3 back, and Aaron Champlin, who looked pretty decent. So it's those 3 guys vying for that spot. I think Malik Davis I like a lot, so I would hope he shows more in the next 2 preseason games to take that spot. We don't really usually carry a lot of backs. Like I think 1 year we only carried like 2 backs, like the whole season. We don't carry a lot of running backs. The Cowboys. So at the most, I think we'll carry 3. So I think that 3rd of running back spot is an important position.
I mean, Caleb, you're right. Malik Davis had 6 yards per rush, 51 yards overall, 8 attempts, no touchdowns. Because you only scored that 1 touchdown. Rico Dowler out of South Carolina, 4 yards per carry, 36 yards, 9 attempts. Malik Davis is the running back from Florida. This kid at Florida, I think it was him and Damian Pierce, touchdown machines. I was a big fan of their 1-2 punch. Well, now, Caleb, let's transition over to your last thing, right? You said roster cuts down.
You skipped one, the offensive line.
Oh, the offensive line struggles. Continue. There's penalties, not playing well. What are we attributing this to?
Yeah, a lot of penalties. Like I said, the Tyler Smith ones, he was not holding. Like I think a lot in the college, and he the thing that was about him that he gets a lot of penalties called. Honestly, a lot of them, he's just pancaking the dude. He was just rolling over the dude. He's pancaking him, and they're calling a flag because the defensive guy's on the ground, so he thinks he threw him to the ground. No, he literally just put him on his ass.
Yes,
he put him on his ass, and they're calling a flag. That's not holding. That's not holding because you won the battle. Like that doesn't. So his penalties in particular, stupid. The struggles we had, because Cooper Rush was getting pressured a lot, was the tackle spot.
Who are your backup tackles?
Yeah, Josh Ball. Josh Ball was not looking good in the game. Everybody want to talk about the receiver, that we need to get a better receiver. What we need to do is to get a veteran tackle in here because our swing tackle position is just not good. It is not good. We have
about the dude with the
yeah, he's not playing. Like he's injured. And then other guy, Josh Ball, not good. So we really need to get a guy in there to play tackle because, like I said, we know Tyron Smith's injury history. He will get injured, and we need someone to fill in that spot, or we are going to be screwed. And that's going to, he might get hurt, because we need someone as swing tackle. I think that's a very, very important position on our team, considering Tyron Smith's health. But yeah, we get to the last thing.
What's the last thing? 80. Well, it's cut days, so you got to bring it down to 85. How many people do you have in camp now? 90.
We had 90. We went down to 85. A lot of these
Who
guys.
the 5 people you guys cut?
Kyron Brown, he was waived injured. He got hurt in the game. Ian Bunn got hurt in the game. Austin Faolu, receiver Ty Freifogel, and then I guess we're not going with fullback because we got rid of Ryan Null, who was the one fullback on the team. So that's what we're saying about not holding a lot of running backs with the Cowboys because that's what we usually do. But I guess we're not really going with fullback. Maybe someone else is going to bring another fullback. I don't know. But yeah, we were down to 85 players. We just did that today. So we'll see what next cut down. I think next cut down to 80.
Yeah, because the Giants have to cut down to 85. We're at 88. Most of the problem is we're at see, here's the problem. Okay, now let's talk about the New York Giants. You know what? Shout out to Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
And that's what my first topic did. Kayvon Thibodeau, right? I decided to go. I went and I scoured the internet for all 22 of Kayvon Thibodeau, right? And then I finally got into it. Shout out to the football scout. I saw some video of him breaking down Kayvon Thibodeau's plays. Kayvon Thibodeau was only there for like 2 series, like 1 or 2 series, and then they kind of pulled him. So we really don't know much about full on impact. But when I watched this football scout break it down, it was because like really much I wasn't really kind of like paying attention to what he was saying. I was watching the tape and how Kayvon plays, right? That man's first step. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sweet baby Jesus. That dude he fires off the line. He actually drew a false start penalty from the right tackle. The right tackle jumped like real bad, and Kayvon was just standing there and it's like, I got you, boy. I got you good. Because he was ready. He's like, I'm ready for you. I'm ready. It's like, now, and he did a lot of here's the thing too. One of the things people didn't know about Kayvon is that does he have a secondary move, right? If they kind of stop the first, if they kind of stop him, what's the secondary move, right? So on one of the plays, right, he rushes, fakes inside with his move, right, and then pops outside, rips through, and due to the fact that Brian Hoyer is like a 14-year NFL veteran, he knows how to like get rid of the ball real quick. But Kayvon Thibodeau was there. He was there right away. He was in Brian Hoyer's face all the time he was in the game. His get off is phenomenal. And he's also too, like, get off is cool. His transition from speed to power, he's strong. He may not look as like strong as like the other your top 2 defensive linemen like Aiden Hutchinson or what's his face, Trayvon Walker with his one-arm strength, but he is strong too. And I just, oh my God, he's phenomenal, man. I think he's gonna look good. Out of the two rookie linemen we drafted in the top 5, he's looking the best because the transition to Evan Neal. Evan, I have more to say about Evan Neal because Kayvon Thibodeau was really kind of like he just showed.
I don't know if it was on Evan Neal, but Daniel Jones was getting hammered on at least the second drive. He was getting pressured a lot.
That one sack play, he sacked. Colin Johnson was wide open across the seam. It was wide open across the field. The ball should have been out. Like, boom, throw the ball. He was wide open. Colin Johnson was like wide open. You throw the ball. You throw the ball right away. He held the ball too long. That's Daniel Jones' fault. Did the offensive line kind of break down fast a little bit? Yeah, it did. But you have a wide open wide receiver across the field, bang, right away. Hit it. Like, I'm sorry, like that was on Daniel Jones, because in the early parts of the game, there was a pocket. They had a pocket. There was a pocket forming around him that he could step up or move left or right.
The first drive was okay. The second drive was a complete disaster.
Exactly. I think but here's the thing too. Sometimes, he held the ball on too long. But here's the thing about Evan Neal, right? I was watching a breakdown of him by Brian Balding. Big fan of Brian Balding, by the way. He knows how to break down some offensive linemen. His biggest issue is he's leaning and he's leaning, right? That's what pretty much all it is. It's fixable. It's teachable mistakes. Like he grabs you, and he's leaning forward, trying to smash you into the ground. But when he's leaning, if you're a smart defensive lineman, you kind of like smack him leaning and kind of go swim move over the lean, But then towards the game, he stopped leaning, So he started like shuffling. He readjusted. So like once one of the Patriots defensive linemen was like flowing right, he grabbed him right, but then the guy cuts in again right away, and he's still grabbing him right, but instead of grabbing him and look like a hold, he shuffled his feet. And he kept him, and he guided him, and he kind of turned him away. So teachable mistakes. He's making mistakes, yes, but it's teachable. He can flow. He can flow. But that's his biggest mistake is he's leaning, and that is a common rookie offensive lineman mistake. You're leaning because you want the pancake. You want to grab and lean and push your mother lover in the dirt. You want to like I'm here, but this is the NFL, man. If you leaning, they're gonna be like, oh, lean. Bang, swim move. You're good. When he stops leaning, it's over. It's over, man. The man is 6'7", has nimble feet. He can mirror. He can mirror, but he can be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? He's like, because he did it a couple times in the game, and then they pulled all the offensive lineman starters. You know what I mean? They pulled them all out. So like but he was looking good towards the end of that drive because he's finally figuring out. He's like, oh, I'm over leaning. And he's a smart offensive lineman. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just big old, like throw him out there, let him hit somebody. He knows, because he got a flow. And he knows he's leaning. He keeps leaning. If he stops leaning, that's his biggest problem is lean. You lean, you're gonna get beat, you're gonna get got pretty much. But overall, the offense still needs time. Because they're not looking good. They're not looking good in practice.
Saquon didn't get hurt, so that's positive.
Huh?
Saquon didn't get hurt.
And he looked good. He looked good in that one drive, right? Because on that third down, where they did the numbers game, right? So they had the two receivers cross to clear out, and then they had Daniel Bellinger go up, and then they basically had a one-on-one with Saquon, right, with an option right where he was like in or out, and then he found he can go pop out, and he popped out. Then Daniel Jones smacked it in for a third down conversion. Saquon looked good. Love me some Saquon. Love me some Saquon. I don't know. You know what? But I don't know what they're talking about in the chat.
Talking about fantasy.
Again, it's all right, man.
You took advantage of them. You took advantage.
No, I didn't. They're grown men. You don't take advantage of grown men.
You swindle. You bamboozled. You led astray.
Hey, calm down, Stephen A. Smith. Chill out. All right. But here's the thing too. Like, the reason the offense isn't really playing very well in practice. I was following the beat reporters. Dan Duggan, Al Stapleton, Jordan Randa. Those are the three main guys, right? One of them said, I don't know which one it was, but they made a great point. Their offense is not playing to beat Don Martindale's defense. That's not who the defense they need to beat. You know what I mean? They're preparing for week 1. I forgot who are we facing week 1? Giants.
The Titans. You're playing Titans.
Yeah, like we're not facing Don Martindale week 1. So if his defense looks good in practice more than us, that's cool. We're installing information for the Titans because the defense is looking just. The defense is just looking good. Darnay Holmes, the defense is flying, it's flowing and stuff like that. But they're not. The offense isn't like we're not facing Don Martindale every week. You know what I mean? That's not who we need to be. So the offense is kind of lacking on the defensive because defense, it's they're just attacking. They're just attacking. Don Martindale's always attack. You know what I mean? Attack. So the offense is looking kind of iffy. A little. You know what I mean? Offensive line. Literally, everyone was hurt. Literally everyone was hurt. Literally everyone's hurt. Caleb, we have 10 healthy offensive linemen. That's 2 offensive lines only. We have only 10 healthy ones. Matt Gano, we cut because of his neck injury. Marcus McCathan tore his ACL. Jamal Davis Douglas is injured. Literally everyone's injured, bro. Literally everyone is injured. Like seriously, Cordell Flott is injured. Rondelius Williams is injured. John Feliciano, our starting center, is injured. Matt Breida, Gary Brightwell, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slane, David Sills, Ricky Seals Jones, Shane Lemieux, Blake Martinez, Elson Smith, Jahad Ward. Literally, no one is healthy. No one is healthy. Literally. That's all I gotta say. No one's healthy. Literally, no one's healthy. No one is healthy, bro. We got back Azeez Ojulari yesterday. He's off of the PUP list, so it's gonna be him and Kayvon with the ones in practice. That's great and all, but we literally have no offensive line.
Yeah, but
no one is
dude. Still got a month.
Caleb,
we still got a month.
Dude, you just think injuries just disappear in a month?
Well, I mean, they get over them. I mean, they work through them. They get healthier.
Our starting center is Ben Bredesen.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. He's a former Raven. That's how I know him. He was a horrible left guard.
He must be terrible then.
He was horrible. Trash. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Literally, like, our backup left tackle, his name is Roy Mbetke, right? He has never played organized professional football. He has never played organized professional football. Literally no organized professional football. That's our backup left tackle. Our backup left tackle, bro. Literally no one's healthy. Like, none of our receivers are healthy. Nobody's healthy.
Well, everybody got injuries, okay?
Everyone's
our receivers are hurt too, so don't be complaining.
James Washington's hurt. Injuries. That's it.
And Michael Gallup, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's true. Good point. I forgot about
our starting receivers hurt.
That's true. Good point. I forgot about Michael Gallup.
Everybody got injuries.
It's been a while. It's been a while since Michael Gallup. Nah, man, but seriously, bro, I'm like, Jesus Christ, no offensive line. Like, literally, why is everybody hurt on the offensive line, man? Like, everybody hurt. Like, everyone's hurt. You know, it's hurt. Also, too, one other thing about the injuries is cornerbacks. We need them, and we need to get them somehow because I'm sorry, but
awful.
Oh my God, it was horrible, dude. Tyquan Thornton just cooked Aaron Robinson.
Yeah,
he cooked Aaron Robinson, bro. On that touchdown pass where he beat him and he popped in and then like he spun him around and then popped out for like a wide open touchdown. I'm like, bro. And then they call a flag on Aaron Robinson because Aaron Robinson had to hold him, but it didn't work. He still got beat. You committed a penalty and you still got beat, bro. And like, bro, Brian Daboll, I hate like in like press conferences saying like, "Oh yeah, man, you know Aaron Robinson, you know what I mean? He's had a little mess ups. You need to clean up. It's about instincts. What instincts? That he's horrible? He's not very good.
Yeah.
You get a defensive coordinator that loves to blitz and play man coverage, and you don't try to find a cornerback that's good at man coverage. I'm sorry, bro. It's crazy, man. You know what? Start Cordell Flott. Start him. Make him our cornerback too. Because Cordell Flott, he played very good before the groin injury in the game. He played some good man to man.
Like one hurt guy start.
He's one of the hurt people. But like, man, shit, Cordell Flott hurt probably better than Aaron Robinson healthy. Oh my God, dude. Now we're getting some juice on the show. I didn't have any juice last week because there was nothing. I've watched the football. Oh my God. Somebody grab a stick and hit me over the head with it. God save my soul. God save my soul. God save my soul, bro. Because Jesus Christ, we haven't had a corner that I loved since Corey Webster retired. You know how long that's been? You know how long that's been?
A long time.
10 years. No, like 8 years. Corey Webster, I miss you, Corey Webster. I miss you. I miss Aaron Ross. I miss Antrell Roll. I miss Kenny Phillips. I miss damn it. Do I know anybody else? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I miss them.
You don't
I
miss
miss them.
Pineapple?
Absolutely not. Hey man, don't be shitting on Corey Webster, Brodney. Corey Webster is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He shut down Randy Moss in that Super
You
Bowl.
don't miss Prince Mukamara?
Oh, I do miss Prince. I like Prince. Prince was good. Prince was good. I liked Prince. But seriously, bro. Oh my God. We need corners. And today we claimed a corner off of waivers. Elijah Griffin. You may know that name. If you didn't, you know his father. His father goes by the rap name Warren G. Yes, regulator himself. His son is on our team. Shout out to Elijah Griffin. Elijah, I hope you succeed, man. I hope you succeed, brother. Hope you succeed. Also too, another one of the things that we want to talk about is the backup running back spot. We know who running back 1 is. It's Saquon.
Not for long, but
it's Saquon Barkley.
Till it's
I'm
hurt.
like, yo, man, why is Brodney? Brodney, he had a drug problem. He needed help. I don't know why you keep messing with the man, bro. Yeah, I forgot. DRC. I love DRC. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. He was nice. But yes, the next topic is backup running back. We have a 3-way fight for backup running back. In the game, it was very it was 3 people.
The future starting running back, but yeah.
He's not gonna get hurt. Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what I want to know.
Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. But yeah, it was Nashawn Corbin, Gary Brightwell Jr., and Antonio Williams. Matt Breida didn't play in the game. No. What's up?
I remember seeing Brightwell do well.
Yeah, no. Brightwell and Antonio Williams played very well with Nashawn Corbin. It was a good 3-headed monster rushing attack. Matt Breida is in the mix, but he didn't play in the game. He was hurt. So there's that. And I honestly think I don't even know why we even have Matt Breida. He's just only there because he was in Buffalo. He's one of the Buffalo connections. Honestly, I think he's gonna get cut. My own personal thing, because I think Gary Brightwell and Antonio Williams played very well and played like solid. Brandy. Of course, I didn't get Brightwell. All right, it's fantasy. All right, I'm rooting for Gary Brightwell to succeed in real life. You ain't talking about fake football. I'm talking about real football, man. Hate fantasy. Fantasy makes people hate people, man. Like, I hate them. I don't like Brodney. You know what I mean? I don't.
I mean, you
that's fine.
Everybody. You swindled everybody.
Fine. I didn't swindle everyone. If I did, I would have swindled Brodney and Hendo. But they didn't. I didn't swindle them. They said no. By the way, man, I didn't swindle you either. You made that trade.
No, I swindled you.
No, you didn't swindle me. You don't even have Joe Mixon anymore, dummy.
Yeah, but I have guys that I want now.
And I'll say this is I upgraded my running backs anyway. I just shitting on Gary Brightwell.
You swindled Noah.
I didn't swindle Noah.
Or Noah got swindled.
No, I didn't. You know what, Brodney? I don't appreciate you. I don't appreciate this Gary Brightwell slander, sir. All right, you watch yourself. Okay? Go talk about Matt Corral or PJ Walker. Loser. I starting PJ Walker over their quarterback they drafted. Shout out to Roughneck legend PJ Walker, by the way. All right, so my next topic is our tight end 1. It's very clear. Daniel Bellinger is tight end 1. He looked very good. I liked him. He was a good blocker. We did more blocking with him. He only had 1 catch, so he did a lot of blocking, right? Which is what they did with Dawson Knox in Buffalo his first year. He kind of did a lot of blocking. But there was one play, like the play I talked about with the option play with Saquon Barkley, right? Where it was kind of a numbers game, right? They kind of like did a little crossing route, but then they sent Daniel Bellinger on the straight up, right? Which kind of cleared the safety. He cleared the safety. He had good speed to clear the safety, and then Saquon kind of optioned right. Yeah, I know, Brian. It's okay. And then he kind of optioned right. Don't kill the guy. He's a sensitive soul. But be gentle with him. We're talking about Colin, by the way. It's okay. We'll see, Mr. J. We shall see if Matt Corral does more than Daniel Jones. If he does, then it is what it is. I don't really give a damn. Honestly, I've given up on Daniel Jones. We need a new quarterback. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm done giving that man excuses about bad offensive lines.
They got Tyrod.
Tyrod didn't look that good either. Like, he was fine.
I mean, okay. Look,
It's whatever.
yeah.
But I think we made a good choice on Daniel Bellinger. He's pretty good. I think he's gonna use as Dawson Knox because early on Dawson Knox was just a blocking tight end. They blocked him in Buffalo, but then like year 2, they kind of integrated him more into the passing game. So I think they're gonna do that with Daniel. They're gonna do that with Daniel because I did watch a couple of San Diego State games when he played. He played very well in those games. Like the bowl game, he played very well. I think a couple of games during the season because in college, you really can't, stats where tight ends are kind of misleading because George Kittle, probably the second best tight end in the league, or some people say the best tight end in the league, his stats at Iowa were horrible. He had like 300 yards one year, and then like another year he had only the 250. So but in the NFL, look at him now. Like look at him. Yeah,
have like big stats in college.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have big stats. Yeah. They don't. They do not. They do not. Dawson Knox didn't have a lot of good stats. He had like 300 yards receiving. TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant.
A lot of the tight ends are like drafted for their attributes a lot of the time.
Yeah, and they project them, and if either they become, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or they become Ed Dixon. Shout out to Ed Dixon, by the way. Oregon Duck Ed Dixon and former Baltimore Raven Ed Dixon. So there's that. Or they just take a former quarterback and make him a tight end, like Logan Thomas or a basketball player. That happens. Mo Ali Cox, the tight end for the Colts, used to play small forward for VCU. Rico Gather, that you guys took.
Rico Gathers. See that was a guy that was like a James Prochet. Everybody loved Rico Gathers, but
everyone loved Rico Gathers.
He just wasn't
everyone
good
loved
enough.
Rico. Oh, we got a donation. Great show, Caleb and Ferris. Predictions on each of your team wins this year. Ferris, how many players you beat off the line this week? I hate you so much. I hate you so much. That was a $2 donation.
Well, at least you avoided saying it because you could have said, Aaron Robinson got beat off.
Whatever. 0. The answer is 0. But Caleb, well, let's answer that question actually. What was actually, if you guys want to see over under predictions, you watch Betting the NFL. Yeah, they did the NFC East over under odds. It's on the channel. Go watch that video and you'll find Caleb's answers. My answer is Caleb, what's the over under on the Giants?
Shit, I got it right. I think it was 7. It was 7. 7.5 or around
there. Fine, I'll go 7. We'll win 7 games. So even, I guess, is that what it's called? I don't take the over. No, so 7. Is that what is that called?
Okay, go watch that.
I'll watch it. Well, hold up. What does me saying 7 mean?
Saying over 7 games, you guys want to win like 8 or
more.
But
I think we're gonna win 7 games.
Oh well, then you take the
even.
Well, I think it was at 7.5. So if you take
7.5, so 7. So on the under, I guess I'll go the under. 7.5 in the under, I guess. So also too then my last topic is the $40 million man, the one, the only, Kenny Golladay. On that first drive, they got in the red zone. It was 3rd down. Easy slant route for Kenny Golladay, and he dropped it. He just dropped it. It could have been a first down. It would have definitely been a first down, and possibly a touchdown because he was very close to the end zone because he could have powered himself the way through. And a lot of people are not big fans of Kenny Golladay. He's kind of lost his luster. Justin calls him Kenny Go Away. Because you know what?
It's fair.
Shoot, it's fair. I'm not gonna deny it. He has not been playing very well. It's looking bad for him. The previous regime, he's gonna be the example of how bad they were again. Because like this regime,
that was a bad signing. It was a terrible signing.
Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of people gonna give him $40 million. He said the Giants shouldn't have been the one giving him $40 million.
And it would have been a terrible sign anywhere he went.
Yeah, because here's the thing: we were we were negotiating against ourselves, and I think maybe the Ravens, but yeah, there's been worse signings over the years. Albert Hainsworth in Washington, Deion Sanders in Washington. A lot of the Washington people. Shout out to the Washington Commanders having no fans and $1 seats for the
Dallas
Commanders.
seats.
Yeah, but I think the biggest issue with Kenny Galladay now is that he needs to like it's just a lot of talk on him, right? It's a lot of talking about how like he doesn't love the game, he's lazy, he's kind of given up, he's kind of fat and happy due to the 40 million, and it doesn't really help that someone who is similar size as him, I think Kenny Galladay is like 6'4", 6'5", and Colin Johnson, who's also 6'4", 6'5", making plays in a preseason game that people think Kenny Galladay should be making. You know, Colin Johnson had a good game in that preseason game. Like I said, you know, like the play that Daniel Jones got sacked in, Colin Johnson was wide open. He could have passed it to him. There were times where Colin Johnson was like wide open. He kind of mossed a couple players. But he played very well. He did have that egregious fumble where the dude just punched it out of his hand and he allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
But overall, Colin Johnson played very well. And that's really exacerbating Kenny Galladay because people are like, you should be doing what he's doing. Why aren't you doing that? You know what I mean? And I think he needs to prove to people, I'm not going to give up on him because players can bounce back. They do. It happens all the time. But Kenny Galladay needs to he needs to figure out, dude, you should have caught that pass and it should have been a touchdown. He should like that was egregious. That was horrible. And then they pulled all the starters. It is what it is. But he should have caught that pass. He should have caught that pass. That's all I got to say.
That's a good point. He might be Roy Williams. Coming from the Lions, looking good in the Lions. Goes to a different team.
Cowboys. Oh, God. Oh, God. Hold up. Isn't there 2 Roy Williamses?
Yeah, there's 2 Roy Williams.
And both of them went to Texas and Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ravens Online. Gatekeepers donated $5. Galladay is Galladon. Wow. That is a grandpa.
It looks like it.
That's like a grandpa joke, by the way. Shout out to you, Peppy. So what Roy Williams did you have? The Texas one or the Oklahoma one?
You had both of them.
You had both of them?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Time. At the same time?
Yeah.
Didn't they both play wide receiver?
No. One was a safety.
Really?
Yeah, the good Roy Williams was safety.
He was
hardest
a Texas
hitting safety in the league.
Wait, time out. Wait, which one went to Texas? The safety or the receiver?
The receiver.
So the safety went to Oklahoma?
Yeah.
So the shitty player went to Texas. Oh.
Well, he wasn't shitty. He made a Pro Bowl with the Lions. He looked good with the Lions, and then he got traded with the Cowboys and looked like crap.
I guess Texas isn't back, is it, Caleb? Is it Texas back? Texas back?
We'll see.
No, it's not. Texas ain't back.
We'll see.
It ain't back.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If you guys waste Quentin Ewers' like potential, I swear to God, I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you.
Manning, so.
Arch Manning. Who gives a damn about Arch Manning? We'll see.
We'll see.
You guys have Quentin Ewers.
Exactly. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, on that note, Kenny Galladay, you need to get your stuff together, sir, because Colin Johnson's going to take your job, and New York Giants fans will be happy about that. But you shouldn't be happy about Kenny Galladay should not be happy. Shout out to Hendo, donated $1. This is why there's a video waiting for you in the Discord. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I've said nothing. I've said nothing to warrant this.
You called him bold.
But yeah, like Kenny Galladay should not be okay with New York Giants fans saying, "Oh yeah, can you like replace our $40 million wide receiver with an undrafted with a free agent that we just signed for like $1.50?" You should be feeling a little angry, and you should prove to people that you're worth that money, dude. Have some self-respect. Seriously, man. You should have caught that touchdown pass. Like have some pride in your work, bro. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I gotta say, man. I'm not gonna continue because I will rant for another 10 minutes, but I gotta go to work. Have some self-respect in your game and your damn like self, dude. Catch the pass. You're a receiver. You catch footballs. That's your job. Yeah, Baltimore Ravens people. Receivers catch footballs. They don't block. Well, you know what? The Giants were a respectable organization, Brodney.
Now they're not.
Well, no, they're not.
Bears.
But if people actually had pride in themselves, they would make a better team.
Yeah,
John
but-
Mara. Have some pride in yourself.
there you go.
You know, we'll see. Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, I believe in you. Resurrect my favorite franchise. Caleb, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to hit on one quick thing. The top 100 players came out. We had
That list is so stupid.
it is stupid, but I just want to point
It's
out
like
that
the dumbest thing in the world. It's player driven, and
it is player
they're
driven.
idiots.
We had 3 players on the
Oh,
list so
players
far.
in the bottom 10. Yes, because that's very good
No,
for you. Yes,
it's at the bottom 50.
bottom
Well,
50.
we have more players coming out. I mean, they only did half the list.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb was 95.
Yeah, at least he's on the list. I mean, do you have any receiver? Do you have anybody in the list? So I don't.
Yeah, Leonard Williams is on the list.
Oh, that's true.
He's higher than CeeDee Lamb.
So
You also know who's also higher than CeeDee Lamb?
who's that?
Justin Tucker. A kicker. A kicker's higher than you.
Well, he's
All
the
right?
greatest kicker ever.
It doesn't matter. He's a kicker.
He's the greatest kicker ever. He's still over everybody.
It's true. Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker of all time. That man can kick a
And he
football.
wasn't
Man.
over him. He
was 94.
He was over any of your guys, anyways. He was over your whole team. So what are you talking about?
Leonard Williams is over him. What are you talking about?
Leonard
Williams.
97. Leonard Williams 97.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Fuck Leonard Williams.
Exactly. Your entire team is worse than a kicker.
Hey. I take back what I said, Leonard Williams. I love you. But please, play better. Like, I really need you to play better because I had high hopes for you.
All
right, Caleb.
What are you talking
Huh?
about? It's 95. See,
Yeah, just like you said, he's the greatest kicker of all time.
I'm just saying. Whatever. Go.
Yeah, shut up. Where can people find you, dummy?
You dummy.
Do your plugs.
Oh, okay. You can find me at NFL Caleb22 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on this channel doing betting the NFL. We just came out the NFC East just last week. And you can find my articles on the website, Let's Get Ready Network.com. To go read my articles there. And yeah, just you can find me doing various reviews. Game of Thrones coming out, gonna be doing reviews of that show. Go watch that, all that stuff.
All right, guys. I'm Ferris Muthana. You can find me. I miss the days where the Giants had players like Akeem Hicks, Victor Cruz, Mario Manningham, lucky ass. No. That Mario Manningham play was not luck. It was the greatest football ever thrown. Eli Manning dropped it in the bucket right in the soft hands of Mario Manningham, fall into the end zone. That was great. You're just jealous. And the other Steve Smith. Hey, you know what? It's true. Shout out to Steve Smith. But my Steve Smith, not the Panther Steve Smith. That Steve Smith's a nice guy. Panther Steve Smith, mean person. It is what it is. Guys, I'm Ferris Muthana. You can find me at Ferris Muthana. It's right there on the thing. You can find me here on the Let's Get Ready Network. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/LGR, you have a lot of benefits. Most of the people in the chat that are right here are most of them are part of our Patreon. Shout out to Brodney. Shout out to Ravens Online on Gatekeepers. Justin is the co-creator of this channel, so he's definitely in the Patreon. Greg, you saw Adelia. Jose is a part of the Patreon. We're doing our fantasy league. We're finalizing a due date on that. It's probably gonna take
people again.
Huh?
You gonna take advantage of people again?
I'm not gonna take advantage of people. All right, I don't do that. These are grown-ups. This is a grown person league. If someone wants to say yes to a trade, they say yes to a trade. There will be no vetoes. If you mess up, you mess up. But we're going to keep competitive balance. Patreon.com/LGR Network. You want to join the Patreon? There's a lot of benefits, multiple tiers. We got 4 tiers. Shout out to Mikey. Mikey's in the chat now. Mikey just showed up. Shout out to Mikey, Off the Record podcast, and the Ring Kings podcast, by the way. There's boxing. Ring Kings going to have a big show this weekend on Saturday. We got, Kamaru, Usman, and then we have Usyk, Joshua, big stream on Saturday. So go for that. Like and subscribe. We have merch. We do have merch. We got a website. Actually, I want to talk about the website real quick. The website at letsgetreadynetwork.com. We're doing this big project on the website called Schmodown Reflections. It's Schmodown players in their own words and through their stories. So it's a good read. Even if you don't like Schmodown, sharing people's personal stories is a good treat to see. So make sure to go watch that. Adelia is Adelia's project. She started it. She's done it from start to bottom. She phenomenal. Adelia, great job. Great job. Great reception from a lot of people. So that's wonderful. You want to get merch, store.com/LSGetReadyNetwork.com. That's pretty much all I got to say. Everyone, stay safe, stay cool, and have fun.